Hey, what's up? What's up? Hope everybody's having a good day. Kind of getting started. Obviously a little bit late. Turn some of the music down. All right, cool. That works. So yeah, started. Spoke too soon. Actually, I didn't say it out loud. I said it quietly in my head. I was like, oh good, it didn't pop up. Like the music didn't get louder, but then it did. So can't say that. Did it anyway. All right. So we're good. Yeah, so music done. What I want to do is kind of just like a outlook, work our way backwards, if you will. See what happened this week, see what we're looking for, and yeah, just kind of go from there. A week wasn't too bad. I know I wasn't on. We weren't doing like a whole lot of lives. Like I said, just work kind of got caught up. Was getting back to the house quite a bit later, and after the last, I want to say like the last live that I actually did, kind of got chopped the hell up, honestly, during the lunch hour, and that particular day, just a myriad of a couple of other things. And yes, if you watch one of, I can't even remember which video I did earlier in the week, where I literally said, yeah, I kind of set fire, I torched that Tradeify. I did. But as things would have it, you know, it's gonna be a new week. Kind of get back in, start from scratch. Yesterday was looking very favorable, and to continue on this great theme of this great theme of transparency. Before I kind of go back in and what I'm looking for and blase squaze, I had this level marked off. And I have a sell side target back here, right? Which I was looking to see if we were going to be able to take. This was, I'm just trying to double check myself here. Yeah. So I'll give you this context really quick, and then we'll run back through. I'm gonna kind of take you guys today through how I look back through price, what and that way you see like the annotations that sometimes when I do my Globex open trades, like I already have stuff on my chart. You'll see how I get those levels, and yeah, just my thought process and how. But as things would have it, like on Thursday, this was basically our Globex time, if you will, right? So yeah, this is 7:10, but 7 o'clock is like inside. I marked this out basically for when price was gonna come back through, based on the fact that we got one-sided delivery up to 7 p.m. and then eventually we did get sell side swept out, a retest of 50%, and then price ran short. So initially I wasn't looking for this level. Excuse me. I figured it was going to take a little bit more than that. I didn't know. So I sat on my hands, but like I said, I'd had this area marked out from Thursday regular trade hour, the PM session, and ultimately Friday looked like, didn't know if we were going to get up there, right? Friday opened and never really came back to take this out. So even in like the overnight going into London and everything, like it didn't pan out to where we took this high. We didn't take it. And then as price moved down, we got here and I was like, okay, we're going to take it before regular trade hours before the open. But as you can see, we came down at 9:30. No mas, didn't take anything. And I was here at the house, so I actually took yesterday off, and then I kind of just tried to relax and watch price, try to correct some errors and some things that I was doing that led to, some misfortune, right? So I figured, okay, 9:30, let's see. Nice pop. And then 9:35 does what? Pops right back up. And then it ultimately runs back through this level, which, hindsight, the way that I used to mark out my manipulation levels, I should have seen it coming, but focused, heavily focused. So I don't have to spell this out for you. You can actually see the price action itself. Came back up. We tapped into this area of interest, but didn't do any more than just tap into it. And then what do we do? Getting into the lunch hour. Lunch hour kind of gives us all of the signals, like, all of the bells and whistles, everything going off, right? So this aspect of price, what are we looking at? Well, I'm looking at the initial balance at that point. I didn't mark it out because I already had, again, my bias was already built, which was short, looking for lower price. I'm looking for lower price. So this level, I'll just tell you, I'm going to keep going into this analysis, but I will tell you, like, starting out next week, what is my bias? Well, yeah. So I would still be interested to see what happens at this level, if anything at all. It doesn't mean that we're going there. We could continue to go long, but this is unfinished. Okay? It's unfinished. But I digress. So you've got a 9:30. That's your initial balance low. And then if we follow this through, here, interestingly enough, is our initial balance high. That's your buy side liquidity for your initial balance. Now, I sometimes will, bob when I should have weaved when it comes to initial balance, when we're looking for levels and whatnot to be cleared, getting into orders and whatnot. So for me, because we tapped into an area of interest, right, just within the space of this fair value, this is one of those times where it was like, okay, would you want to see this, run at least into the CE, the consummate encroachment of this area of fair value? Obviously, the answer is yes. At the same time, I'm still also looking back saying, okay, well, what did we take back here? So we've taken some, maybe some highs in here, right? We've taken some liquidity into this area of fair value. So is it plausible or even possible for price just to retreat from this level and not get into, mean threshold, consummate encroachment? It is possible. Yes. Can that happen? Absolutely. Yes, it can. So this is one of those cases where I wasn't necessarily looking for even a soup of the buy side liquidity level because of what it reached back into, even though it just tapped into it, right? We start to get a run short, right? No higher high. So it's not really the usual structural narrative that you get, like your high, your low, your higher high, and then that intermediary low gets run out with a run back above into a fair value or whatever it is, or I'll just call it the 2022 model. Like, we don't get that structural delivery. However, we kind of sort of do. We kind of do, because you get that entry model here. You do get a 2022 model entry right here. You get it. Now, is it as dramatic? And by dramatic, I mean, do you get like a lot of expansion? Not a whole lot, but you do run out a very short-term low, right? You get to move back up and in. It respects this area of fair value. Okay. You do get a closure above though, right? And you get another run back above, right? A sweep or soup, if you will. Closure back through, and then you get this run back short. So again, just like earlier in the morning, And the overnight, the previous night, what do you think? What do you think your boy is looking for? I'm still looking to see it take out this level, and then we get this move back long. So, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that you've heard me say, I'm looking for shorts in a long market. But what I am actually looking for up here is a move long to retreat short. So, and again, my wholly owned bias is the fact that, like I said, I still feel like something is going on. We've got NFP coming up this week. I feel like that has to be completed. So the facts and structure don't lie. The facts and structure say we are indeed bullish. If you're looking at this in terms of a particular model, it's a very loosely developed. This could be looked at as a market maker buy model. It's just, it's not as tight as all of the diagrams and the things that you see in terms of like those models show you, but it's still indicative of just that, right? So we could be on the downside, basically the accumulation, so like pre-accumulation, accumulation going into that the buy side or the right side of that market maker model. So it's possible that that's what we're in. But yeah, I would be, I don't know. I just think that there's some more stuff going on that we just we haven't seen yet. And this, what I'm about to draw, this could actually be where the whole idea and the concept falls apart. Just make that like that and change that midline for a second. That level was respected and got a wick through on the daily. It's Friday. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Because it's like Thursday stopped just before mean threshold. This actually ran all the way through. So in a way, I might be out of gas with that idea. And I want to say the reason I just stuck that out there, I didn't want like a ray running all the way back across. I believe I did that for like a mean threshold. Yeah. So that sell side target just lines up with like a mean threshold. So if considering like this last down here as essentially like an order block, that, and that's the only reason why I came back up here, because somebody would look at this and be like, that's an arbitrary, like how do you get like an arbitrary how do you get an arbitrary price level in the middle of price where price doesn't seem to be? Like that's why I was, and I just, like I said, I didn't want to draw it from all the way back here across, but that's what that target is. It's literally just mean threshold for like an order block, or what I've marked out as an order block in structure here. So I would like to, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this today. I'm actually just gonna go through my process, and I mean, if you guys have any questions or anything, you can ask. So, just keeping it like stupid simple. This move back inside, it's into an area of fair value, which is going to be the most blatant form of like internal range liquidity that's been tapped back into. So obviously, anytime we're looking at the internal to external, Friday dipped back into internal range. So ultimately, the subsequent day or week, what have you, we'd be looking for external. And external could be something as simple as this fair value here, right? It could literally be just that simple. Let's get rid of that. It's a bunch of shit. Whole bunch of crapola. And I mean, even realistically, because technically Friday's closed, if we get a gap up and in, and that's what can be like, some people would say, nah, that's suspect. That's not really, but I would say it is, because we've got fair value here. So theoretically, that's external, right? I mean, call a spade a spade. Like, I don't look at that as, oh, well, you're just reaching for your narrative. Not really, you know. It is what it is. Let me hang on one sec. Let me see if I can get rid of, because I'm pretty sure that I can. Like, this can come off. And that can come off. Those can stay. And I want to leave that just as a way to view price coming back across. So I had a volume imbalance in here. All right, I can get rid of that. Okay, that's a little bit better. A little bit better. All right. So all right. So as I go, I'll eliminate that, because you typically don't see me, like, I don't mark out. You don't ever see on my charts like where I have like daily fair value, 4 hour fair. Like, I just do it a lot of times, like I said, preliminarily while I'm kind of going through my analysis, and then I pull them off. This horizontal ray is what exactly? That's bad, but I'm on my own chart. Like, this ray is what? What is this? What in the absolute? What in the hell? I don't know what that is. Oh my God, bro. My God, bro. What is this? Okay, well, if I can't figure out what it is, you know what that means. Gotta go. Figured I'd give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, what the hell? What have I marked out? Might be a time traveler after all. I had to go snatch that green ray off from up there too. I wonder if while I'm sleeping, like my out of body speculator is just like do 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 unlock. Like it's doing chart analysis for me when my conscious rational mind is not. Okay, so yeah, that's a far fetched. It is far fetched, but so if this is Friday, yeah. If it's Friday, what would the chances be? What are the chances, right? So structurally, excuse me. It's like you're bullish until you're not bullish anymore, right? So significant pullback, right? This leg in price takes out this previous high that's generated from here, right? So this would be, I would look at that as like my foundational structure point for higher price, right? And it's evidently supported, so like it's not hyperbole or anything like that. I mean, it's at this point at least, it's an obvious, right? Again, leg up in price clears this high from this structural point, but that's a support. Okay. So at this point, you can look at this. You could say, okay, well, here's your high, here's a low, here's a higher high, here's a move back in. This can now be looked upon as a failure swing because, and it just depends on how you want to look at it or how you determine, right? But again, that's a higher low. This is going to be, let's see, within this leg back in. So if we're just looking at the major swings, I know you could say, well, that's a swing and this is a swing, and that, like the major swings are going to be this high, that low, this higher high. This is a higher low. This is a failure swing high. This is another higher, well, that's an intermediary. That's going to be an intermediary. And while this is a higher high to this one, it's still a failure swing. And then price closes, so price takes out this low, and it also takes this low. And the criteria for taking the lows is going to be a closure below. That's Thursday. Thursday closed below. Friday open below. Manipulated and closed back inside of Thursday's range. So, having said all of that, and again, just going back to the very simple premise of internal to external, we did get the pushback into internal, but it was a closure here. That's your manipulation, and we really don't reach an external. So I'll say it again. This is going to be looked upon as internal. If we get basically a move back into fair value here, and there's a reaction, and we move short, like this would satisfy an external range liquidity run for me. And just very stupidly simple, why? right? The answer why is it's in opposition to the internal range liquidity that was run. That like it's literally that simple for me. Now I'm not saying it is going to be simple, like it's just going to automatically shorten, like everybody else and their grandmother is expecting or anticipating nowadays, that the bottom is just going to fall out, which maybe a somebody that's in the space that does podcasts will I don't know, maybe be looking for like a random guest or a random person to collaborate with, and then they're like, hey Jeremy, you wanna come on and talk back and forth about, be fucking awesome. Because yeah, I've got my own opinions about that. So, but again, I'd be looking for a move back in here daily, and it wouldn't be a long-term thing. What's crazy is it almost looks like the candles are already printing. Like, are you tipping your hand perhaps? Got any grapes? I don't know, man. I don't know, Frank. So let's see. Let's mark out the CE. And let's see. Oopsie. I don't know what color I want to make that. I don't want it green. I know that. Oh, excuse me. Let's do that's freaky. CE, call it daily fair value. Hang on one sec. Actually, I'm gonna move. It can stay in the middle. I want to put that on the right, and just say okay. And I kind of just want to get rid of this whole thing. 21,055. 209,945. Okay. I like to sometimes make just a reference, but if I come back up, like I'll be able to see that, and it'll at least make sense in part. All right, so go down to my bellwether. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Good grief. Huh. This occurred 2:30. One, two, three. That's technically 4. This is 5. For as much price as I've watched, I don't think that I've ever really, like, I've never actually seen price deliver that way. I mean, I've seen it one-sided, and maybe it has, and I've just like not really paid like that kind of attention to it. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. This is 15. So is the closure through and up. Add to 15. I'm gonna take that off. This one, I'm trying to see. So that's a 1 hour fair value gap. So 1, 2, okay. Let's do this on this one. Hopefully this doesn't mess me up, because I don't use like the hourly zones hardly ever. And it's crazy because off of the 5 minute, like, it's the easiest. Well, not the easiest. I don't want to use that expression. I'll just say like it's kind of like the default. If you're on an hour, you can drop down to the 5 minute, just from the fractal. Because it's like a obviously it's like a 20 time snapshot, if you will. But so I'm trying to kind of see if what I'd like to understand if price is going to deliver a certain way. I'm just trying to see what that possibility is. So if you're wondering like, why am I taking all this time, like what am I doing, this is kind of how I get to the point where I say, okay, well, this is what price did, this is potentially what it's reaching for, and okay, if it reaches here, what's the probability of that, and ultimately like what else could happen, right, in these specific areas. So we've already satisfied the fact that we've taken an internal range. We're looking for external. The external, by way of just the mean threshold consummate encroachment of the daily fair value, we've designated that so we can drop all the way down and not lose sight of what that CE level is. To again, just kind of just give us the framework of, okay, where is price now? And if it's reaching there, like what either one stands in between current price or where price closed and that objective, or ultimately what else can be a catalyst or a hindrance to price, getting there. And time obviously is of the essence in terms of when it delivers, but there are other criteria, there are other liquidity points, there are other uh, inefficiencies that price may have to go through or may have to mitigate in order to get there. So it's just a matter of like, what are those levels? We've got two more here. So we go back to the 5 minute. So you've got this level here, but you have on the 5 minute, that's on the 5 minute. Granted, yes. Is that fair value? Yes, it is. So is that. So if you're asking like, well, hey Jeremy, well, why are you marking that out if all of these other areas are fair value? Because this is a daily level, and I'm looking at a 5 minute. So from a fractal perspective, like the 5 minute structures, can they hold? Yeah, they can, short term. What's going to be more of a? It's kind of like what's going to create the greater draw, the 5 minute fair value or the daily fair value? It's in those cases, it's kind of a no brainer. Like I'm gonna defer 100% of the times at a higher time frame. So I'm gonna defer to that daily. And the idea that 5 minute structure is gonna show that this would be potentially still bearish, but don't know, right? Don't know. We're just gonna have to see what happens when we get there. So I will just do that. I'm gonna pull this back across because it might be what's the expression? Too much lipstick on the pig. Fucking euphemisms. Euphemisms. Yeah, so these can come off now. I'm gonna leave that on. We'll leave this on. And yeah, I mean, for right now, it's kind of, it's gonna be a simple kind of sit, wait, see. So tomorrow's live is more or less gonna be us, kind of getting together a good. Let me lower this a little bit. A little rapper chat session. We could sit, talk, shoot the shit. I can't really say that I see anything that's gonna stick out to me. Again, what I'm looking for is complete in opposition to what is being shown. But excuse me, I'll just for the sake of emphasizing once more, and then we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna jump over here in my my cockpit seat, and I'm gonna race today. I've been in this seat do technical analysis yesterday. So my wheel is probably cursing me out, but we'll get some laps in today. But yeah, I'm gonna have to just sit on my hands. As I've said, like the past couple of weeks with different scenarios and different setups. We've not completed a couple of things short. I'm not gonna be diving in head first tomorrow in shorts. I know that structure is bullish, hands down. The structure is bullish, but again, from looking at the higher time frame fractally, yes, it's bullish. However, we've already attacked. If you're looking at range liquidity, we've already taken internal range liquidity. This daily fair value gap would satisfy the criteria for external, which means we could see a run back across, but don't know. So it's a wait, look and see kind of criteria. But that being the case, I will see you guys 5:45 tomorrow on or about. Shoot the shit. Hopefully, like I said, no echoing. Stream and everything. Knock on all the wood, pressed or otherwise, that you can knock on. So hopefully everything is good. I'll see you guys then. So enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Have fun. Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.